Welcome and what is up there everybody, this is Casper Trader back here with another video today. And in today's video we'll be discussing exactly how to buy and sell stocks using the Robinhood app. And this is super simple and easy to do, but there's a few things you need to understand before starting off. First, I'll start by quickly explaining how the Robinhood referral program works. So basically how you can earn yourself a free stock, and actually a few free stocks. And we'll also be discussing how to research a company and see the company's statistics and information about the company using the Robinhood app, as well as how to buy and sell stocks on the Robinhood platform. And I'm super excited to get into today's video, but before I do, I'd really appreciate you guys could smash that like button below and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys have not yet. I'd really appreciate it a ton. Alright guys, so getting into the video, how the Robinhood referral program works, I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown. What you want to do is click the little person icon on the bottom right corner, and you're going to click the free stocks button right here. And basically how this works is if you have a friend or family member who wants to start using Robinhood to start trading stocks, what you would do is click the share link button right here in the middle, as you can see, and you'd give your friend or family member this link to sign up to Robinhood. And once they complete the sign up process, you both will receive a free stock. And I can vouch for them. They do actually give you the free stock. This is not a scam. It's completely legit. I've gotten myself a few dollars in free stocks. Some of the stocks I've gotten range from $2 to like $6 per share. But there's also that small chance you can get a stock like Microsoft or Apple, which can score you a decent amount of money, I would say, if you're starting off. So that's how their referral program works. And now we're going to move on to how to research a company with Robinhood. So let's take a company that many of us know for sure. It's a widely known company, and that's Apple. Apple is a company that produces cell phones, computers, all that pizzazz. I don't need to explain that all to you guys because you guys probably even know more than me about them. But Robinhood, as you can see, shows you exactly how many shares of stock you own, which is on the your position area right here. You can see how much you paid for the stock, how much the stock is worth right now, and how much of your portfolio is invested into the stock. So you can see all that information right in the middle right here, as you can see. And with that, you can also see how much you have made in today's date from the stock, as well as your total return on it. So that's basically how Robinhood shows you how many stocks and how much you're up or down on them works. But you're also able to see how the stock price has moved in the last day, in the last week, in the last month, last 3 months, 1 year, and 5 years right here. So you can see all the data on the stock price for the last 5 years, which is pretty useful to know, especially when you're entering a position. You want to get in at a low price. So for example, let's say Apple was up high right here. You saw it started to fall, and you could buy a share when it starts to dip down, get yourself at a good price. So you can actually start off with your position being green. I mean, who doesn't like dip buying? I'm a big fan of dip buying, so I usually try to buy stocks whenever I see a little dip, whether it be 2% or 10% or 20%. I always just try to get in on a little dip buy. So that's just a little recommendation from my side, but I'm not a financial advisor, so I recommend you do your own due diligence. So when researching a company on Robinhood, you can see the different statistics right here, like the price that the stock opened at, what it was the highest price it was at today, the lowest price it was at today. And right on the left side, right here, you can see the 52-week high and low is basically the highest price the stock was in the last year and the lowest price the stock was in the last year. So it gives you a little bit of perspective how much the stock price has been able to move in the last year. And on the right side of the statistics column, you can see that the amount of volume on the stock. And for those who don't know, volume is the amount of shares traded throughout the day of the stock. So there's been over 24.88 million shares of Apple bought and sold. Wow, that's crazy. That's just crazy for me to think. But you can see the volume of a stock. You can see the average volume, the average amount of shares that are bought and sold, the market cap, which is basically how much the company is valued at. And you can see right below that is the PE ratio. And for those who don't know, the PE ratio is a price to earnings ratio. And when you're buying stock, usually the lower the PE ratio it is, the better, but it completely depends on every industry that you buy the stock from. And right underneath that, in the last part of the stats section, you have the dividend yield, which is by far my favorite part to look at, because it shows you how much the stock, if you buy the stock of Apple, it'll show you how much they pay you out in dividends in a year. So as you can see right here, the dividend yield is 1.09% for Apple right now. So if I hold the stock for a year, I will get a dividend of around 1.09%, so around $2.80 of dividends, which I definitely can't complain about. So yeah, that's basically how you can see the stats on the Robinhood app for any stock you're looking to invest in. And I'm going to go along this column and show you guys briefly of what other things that Robinhood shows you about stocks, including the news. You can read a bunch of news about the stock. You can see analyst ratings for it. If analysts are saying that it's a good buy or a good sell for this stock, which you should definitely not solely go off of. But if you're looking just to get a little bit of a push, whether you want to buy or sell a stock, you can take a look at the analyst ratings and see if people, like analysts that are really qualified for this, recommend buying or selling this stock. And right below this, you can see the earnings. You can see how much the stock has beaten earnings or went below the estimated earnings, which usually drives the price in either direction, which is pretty interesting to take a look at. You can also see the different stocks that people buy if they buy Apple. And you can see your history right here. So you can see right now that I actually got a dividend around 2 months ago from Apple of 77 cents. So it was a pretty nice little piece of cash that was added to my portfolio. And right below, the last thing that you see is the About section of the company, where you can see like what the company focuses on, what industry it's in, who its CEO is, where the headquarters are located, when it was actually founded. So Apple was founded in 1976, and the amount of employees that it has. So just a little bit of background info and research you can do on every stock that you'd like to invest in on Robinhood. So now moving on, how to buy and sell shares of a stock. So let's move it on. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's go on to Microsoft. I'm going to be showing you guys how to buy and sell shares of Microsoft. So basically what you're going to want to do is click the stock that you want. If you don't have the stock in your watch list or anything right here, what you can simply do is just click this button right here in the middle, browse, type in any company you want. Let's say we want Microsoft, MSFT. Boom, we click on it, and you can click trade right here. And this is where you decide whether you want to buy or sell a stock. So let's say I want to buy 1 share of Microsoft. What I would do is click the buy button and then type the amount of shares, which is 1. And this is the part that many people don't know about, especially new investors on Robinhood, that you can do. So I'm going to make sure to go over it for you guys. And that's basically how to buy a stock with a limit order on Robinhood, which Robinhood doesn't explicitly show. So you got to do a little bit of digging, but I'll show you how to do that. What you're going to do is click the top right corner, which says shares for me. And you can choose right here a limit order. And what a limit order is basically you're telling Robinhood that you only want to buy a share of Apple if it's at the price of whichever price you type in. Like let's say we only want to buy Apple if it's at $175 per share, if and only if. So it can't buy at any higher price, but it can only buy it at that price or a little bit lower price. So let's say you want to buy a stock and you don't want to buy it for a higher price than, let's say Microsoft, you don't want to buy for higher than $175. You'd simply type 175, click continue, and here you get to choose the either market hours or extended hours. So you can see if you want to buy the stock within the regular trading day period or the after hours or pre-market hours session, which is a little bit of extension from the beginning of the stock market to the end. So you can definitely choose whichever one fits best for you. Let's see, we want to do market hour. And then this part is also a little bit confusing for new investors, which is set time and force. So basically this is you telling Robinhood that you either want to just buy this stock today, like your order is only valid for today. So if Robinhood doesn't fulfill your order of trying to get the stock at $175 per share today, then it just cancels the order. Or you can choose right here the good till canceled, which holds your order up to 90 days, where throughout a 90-day span, 90-day time span, Robinhood will keep the order up. So whenever throughout those 90 days, Microsoft will go below $175 per share, it'll buy that 1 share for you, and then the order is over. So let's say we just want to buy it for today. We'd click continue, and here you can review your order and see all the information about it. We'd click review, and how you would actually go on buying this stock is you would just swipe up, which is a pretty nice feature. I'd say it looks pretty nice. So you just swipe up, and your order would be placed. And depending on where the stock price is sitting at and where your limit order is or your market order is, they would actually buy and sell the stock for you. So I'm going to briefly go over what a market price does because I didn't do that right away. So what a market price does basically when you're buying or selling a stock is you're basically just buying the stock wherever it's at. You don't care if it's going to go up or down 10 cents or anything like that where you're buying it. So if you just want to buy it right now, you don't care like I want to get in at $1 or less or anything. You just click right now if you want to buy it. Just number of shares, market price, and just swipe up. It's that simple if you just want to buy it at the price it's at right now. But if you want to do a limit order, you can get in at whichever price you desire. So now, let's say we have one share of Microsoft like we do right here, and we want to sell it. So if you want to sell the share, what we would do is actually click trade and sell right here. And you would take a look at the amount of shares you have, which shows you right above, right below the sell Microsoft right there. You can see that I have 1.03 shares of Microsoft. So let's say I just want to sell one share. I would just type in the number of shares, and then here we can also set a limit order, or you can sell at market price. Completely depends if you want to just sell it right now where it's at, or if you want to sell it at a limit order where you basically give Robinhood a command that I only want to sell the stock if it's at, let's say 170, oh, not 140, that would be pretty bad, but $178 per share or more. So you're telling Robinhood, I only want to sell this stock at $178 per share or more. So if any time it's below that, you're not going to fulfill my order. So then you'd go and click the trading hours that you want it to fulfill on, the time in force, and boom, you're on your way to selling your first share. You click review and then swipe up like always. So that is basically how you would sell a stock. So in today's video, we went over how the Robinhood referral program went, how to research a company on Robinhood, as well as how to buy and sell stocks on the Robinhood platform. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.